Hello, guys and girls. Namaste. How are you today? I'm sure you're doing great, and I'm sure that your CAT preparation is on full fervor. I'm Shruti Tiwari, a VARC expert at Top Rankers Supergrads CAT. We have started with our CAT 2024 batches. And when we start with our CAT preparation, one question that troubles most of us is how to develop reading skills for CAT, how to read AEON essays. And here I am sharing my approach of reading AEON essays with comfort, with ease. But before I share with you how to read AEON essays, let's first understand why at all to read AEON essays. For the very obvious reason, the first one, CAT, one third section is VARC. And what is VARC? It's all about reading, reading, and reading. So for the first 40 minutes, you're supposed to read from the variety of genres and you have to solve certain questions. So you have to develop that habit, that persistence, that you do not get fatigued, you do not get frustrated while reading for 40 minutes at a stretch. And you have to read from the authentic sources because CAT RCs are not from anywhere. They are from international, global standard English platforms like The Guardian, New York Times, encyclopedias, and AEON essays. So that's the reason why most of the faculty recommend to you that you should start reading AEON essays. Having said this, another very important reason is you need to have good critical thinking. You need to develop high order thinking to become a good management aspirant, to become a good manager later on, because you need to solve everyday issues, everyday problems which are there in the industry. How will you do that if you do not have analytical bent of mind? And that is the reason why language happens to be the most important part of your CAT exam. It starts with VARC. Then it is data interpretation and logical reasoning. Again, you have to analyze, churn up all the data and understand what it's about and solve the issues and solve the problems and puzzles. Later on, it is followed by the mathematics or quantitative ability. Again, you have to do number crunching. You have to understand what the question is all about and do a lot of calculations to solve problems. So everywhere you need to have good comprehension skills. So that's the reason why from the initial stages, you should start reading and start reading good stuff. So here you have already, taken this good decision, right decision, smart decision of starting your CAT preparation early on. So why waste time? You should build strong foundation of reading and hence you will not be jittery later on while reading or while solving reading comprehension passages or dealing with parasummary, parajumble or any kind of question. Now, having said this, I'll share you my approach of solving or of reading, AEON essays. I'll also illustrate how not to read and how to read AEON essays. Let's get started. Now, most of the students read with this speed. Carcinella lighting the author behind the pseudonym is a new addition in the long list of right-wing political figures with a misogynist worldview. And now they come to the last line. This longing was sometimes paired with an apparent hatred for women who were holding men back, demanding that they were. Now, what happens here? First of all, you haven't understood what the passage is all about. You just have a little inkling about the topic and you've started speed reading. You started skimming and scanning. What are you doing? You are actually hurting yourself. You are hurting your own understanding. And that is going to get you into depression that I don't understand. Think about it. जब आप किसी नई जगह पर जाते हो, ठीक है, तो क्या आप स्पीड से कार भगाने लग जाते हो हर रोड पे हर जगह? No, you slow down because you don't know that area. You start your GPS, let it give you directions, and you follow those directions. And then you reach the place. When you have been there for at least a month or two, you understand what the area is all, you understand the region, then you are able to find out the locations, and then you can read, you can drive with the speed, isn't it? लेकिन जब हम शुरू में ही जब हमने पढ़ना शुरू ही किया है, अभी हमने सीखा नहीं है, and we started skimming and scanning, speed reading, you're actually doing the same mistake. All right. So do not skim or scan. Do not go for speed reading initially. Take your own time. Read in the pace of your speech. जिस जिस स्पीड में आप बोलते हो उस स्पीड में रीडिंग करो. Read in chunks and slow down and read properly so that you understand properly what it is saying. All right. गाड़ी भगानी नहीं है, आराम से करना है, आराम से चलना है, आराम से पढ़ना है. एटलीस्ट इनिशियल 1 महीना आराम से पढ़ना है. ठीक है. लेट अस सी हाउ. Costin Alamario, likely the author behind the pseudonym Bronze Age Pervert, is a new addition to the long list of right wing political figures with misogynist worldviews. It took 100 years of women in public life for them to almost totally destroy a civilization. He writes, to replace this genocracy, he advocates for a caste of men who would be able to guide society toward a morality of eugenics. Alamario has also claimed philosophical credentials for this worldview. His work, decimated in social media posts and the self published book Bronze Age Mindset 2018, takes inspiration from a philosopher with his own reputation for misogyny, Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche infamously longed for an Übermensch who would upend traditional morality and free the strong from its stifling limitations. This longing was sometimes paired with an apparent hatred for women who were holding the men back, demanding that they be compassionate and domesticated rather than heedless and strong. This pairing seems to fit Alamario's views nicely, earning him the distinction of representing the Nietzschean fringe of conservative extremists. Now, I have read the paragraph which you do not understand. Now, tell me something. Is that the only problem you are facing? Then that's not at all a problem. Why? Because when you read AEON essays, you are tend to find jargons which are pertaining to that particular field. Do not get intimidated by them. In CAT also, you will find passages which are full of tough vocabulary or jargons of that particular genre. And when you get jittery about it, you get fussy and you do not understand the passage, or you get, terrified by that. I'll tell you what. These are essays written by scholars. So when they write with that mindset of a scholar. They already have developed that specific technical vocabulary for that particular field. All right. You are not supposed to get all the vocabulary and all the jargons, familiar with them. With the passage of time, you'd automatically get familiar. But what you can actually do is do not get stuck while you're reading on those words. Just keep reading. With the reading, you will automatically understand the context of those jargons. If not able to understand the context of the vocabulary, after you have read the paragraph, then you can take a pause, look for those words which you have not understood in the dictionary, and give a reading again. All right. This is going to help you in the sense that you are not getting stuck. So you've already got the overall view of the paragraph. And later on, when you look for all the words in the dictionary, you will read it again and find the meaning in the entirety. All right. So this will save your time, will not get you in confused state, and will give you clarity when you read. All right. So let's see how it goes. Pseudonym. Pseudonym means it is false name. Pseudo is false, nym is name. So it is a false name or the pen name which generally authors or the poets keep for their literary articles. So the pseudonym is Bronze Age pervert. Who is a pervert? Pervert is basically, a person who is a spoiler, a person who is, not of good mental state. All right. जिसको हम बोलते हैं विकृत मानसिकता वाला इंसान. ठीक है. Then misogynist, as I told you, mis is hatred, and gynist or gynae is basically women. So one who hates women. Übermensch. So this is again a German or probably a French word, which is again here it is stated the context is clear. Who would append traditional morality and free the strong from its stifling limitations. So basically it is for men who have to break off from the traditional way in which men have to behave, and they have to become strong or they have to become supermen. All right. Fringe. Nietzschean fringe. All right. So what is fringe? Fringe basically is a group. All right. A group of extremists, a group of similar, people who have similar thought process. So that is fringe. Generally, उत्पातियों को बोलते हैं. All right. So now when you have understood the meaning of these tough words, let's give another reading. And this time, obviously, our speed of reading will be faster and understanding will be doubled. Let's see. Despite Nietzsche's reputation for misogyny, his work inspired a leading women's rights activist of early 20th century. Cosin Alamario, likely the author behind the pseudonym Bronze Age Pervert, is a new addition to the long list of right-wing political figures with misogynist worldviews. It took 100 years of women in public life for them to almost totally destroy a civilization, he writes. To replace this genocracy. Okay, so this word I left. Genocracy, I told you gynae means women. Cracy is government. So it's basically genocracy, government or rule by women. So to replace this genocracy, he advocates for a caste of men who would be able to guide society towards a morality of eugenics. So eugenics basically is to have a superior race. All right. So यहाँ तक ये बात समझ में आ गई that this person, Cosin Alamario, is promoting hatred for women. He doesn't rely on, rule by women, or he wants to oppose it. And he is a supporter of saying that there should be a caste of men who should be developed by eugenics, who have superior power, and who should actually set the moral standards of the society. Alamario has also claimed philosophical credentials for this worldview. His work, decimated in social media posts and self-published book Bronze Age Mindset 2018, takes inspiration from a philosopher with his own reputation for misogyny, that is Friedrich Nietzsche. So this philosopher takes reference from this philosopher who again has a reputation of misogyny. That means he was also a hater of women. Nietzsche is infamously longed for and who would append traditional morality and free the strong from its stifling limitation. So this is, as I told you, is a French or a German word for superior men or supermen. All right. And it is understood from here a man who appends traditional morality and free the strong from stifling limitation. That he wants men to be break away from the limitations or the chains which are holding their superiority. All right, they want this man wants men to free themselves and express their strength in the society. This longing was sometimes paired with an apparent hatred for women who were holding men back, demanding that they be compassionate and domesticated rather than heedless and strong. All right. So what is it saying? That he wants, to he wants men to move away from those women who are holding them back, who are not letting them express their strength in the society. All right, they want men to be compassionate and domesticated, whereas this philosopher says that men should not be compassionate, they should not be domesticated, they should be free in the society and express their strength, free from the fetters or free from the chains of women. This pairing seems to fit Alamario's views nicely, earning him distinction of representing the Nietzschean fringe of conservative extremists. So see, even if you've not understood this word fringe, it is written here, conservative extremists. All right. So, as I told you, that when you read properly without getting stuck in the subsequent sentence or in the subsequent, words, you will find the meaning of those words or those jargons which are ringing bell in your head. All right. So, don't be intimidated by those words or jargons. Just keep reading. Also, do not get for speed reading initially. Take your time, read properly, have a overall, idea of what the paragraph is all about. And towards the end, look for the word meaning, read it again or summarize it again. You will have better understanding of the paragraph. So, let me now summarize it for you. All right, whatever we have understood and whatever I have illustrated from that paragraph from Aeon Essays. The first thing is, do not get stuck while reading. Don't skim or scan. No speed reading. Do not get stuck means make it simple. Do not get intimidated by those jargons and vocabulary words which you don't understand. Believe me, you'll be able to understand the context in the subsequent sentences or the words which are coming. All right. If not, complete the paragraph, then take a break, look for those words which you have not understood in the dictionary, and give it another reading, asking yourself, what's the point? All right. Look for words and phrases in the dictionary after you have summarized your passage. Okay. This, over the period of time, will help you get familiar with the kind of jargons, kind of vocabulary which is used in one particular genre. For example, philosophy will have certain set of words which will be quite often repeated. Similarly, there are certain jargons and words which will be repeated in, say, articles of economy or finance. Slowly and steadily, you will get familiarized with those words. But initially, if you get into that speed reading mode, you will create aversion for reading for always. So I don't want you to do that. Take your own time, at least initial 1 month. Do not get fussy about reading. Do not take it as a burden. All right. You have to make yourself comfortable in reading for 30 to 40 minutes every day. So help yourself do it. And what will make you do it more frequently is when you make the task simple. That's the reason why I'm here. And I promise I'll be coming up more frequently for you for hand holding and helping you how to read, and not just to read, but also to raise your levels to come to the level of interpretation, analysis of whatever is written, because that's what is required for solving CAT questions. So stay tuned with me. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. So stay tuned with me. Goodbye.